you say you're a man of integrity?
Most definitely.
Have you ever cheated?
Have you cheated? Yes, I have.
What separates now from then?
Well, then I was younger. I was trying to get back from being cheated on.
So you fought fire with fire and you was petty?
Yes. yeah, pretty much.
Right, two wrongs don't make anything right.
Well,
I mean, that was the time to sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting.
Right.
Yo, 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 Little Black Book, and welcome back to part 3 of our reviews of episode 10 of Ready to Love. I know you guys have been bugging me to get it done, but I had to release it little by little because it's been a bit mad. Alright. Just my little sponsor today, Volvic Water Strawberry. And with a little bit of hope, with it back against the wall, I can feel it, the world's greatest.
No.
Like no calling past 10 o'clock or something?
No.
Yeah?
No, there's none of that still.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's in the manual.
I mean, honestly, like I said in the beginning, in courting, there's like boundaries, innit? So you can't break those boundaries, but even if you break those boundaries, there's ways of like restoration. Do you understand what I'm saying? But how many times you like break those boundaries? I don't know. Get it?
Deep it. One thing I want to say about them two is that, you know what, in their household they're going to be laughing for years. Like, they both have the same kind of energy, and it's like when you saw the parents of Alexx, you know, the same charm that he has, his dad has, and you know, the way they were energized together, it was like it's something that, you know, that when they have a relationship and they have their own family, Alexx and Ashlee, there's going to be laughter.
They get together and it's a comedy show.
Because the laughter that was happening on that table was amazing. It was a bit more serious in Ashlee's house, but I think it's because they were trying to assess who he was. And I think it's a bit different when the man approaches the family than it is when the woman's approaching the family. Do you get me?
Played 2 years, got in a little trouble. You know, I didn't graduate.
You didn't graduate?
No.
But you still turned out to be successful anyway.
Oh yeah, I had a strong mother, strong father. And I believe that through prayer and a great support system within my family, you know what I'm saying, led me to the person I am today.
If y'all make it over that 2-year mark, where do you see y'all relationship?
Me getting on one knee.
Because I think the woman's like the prized possession. It's almost like, you know, we want to make sure that you're not a dog. We want to make sure that men are, because, you know, men are obviously, we've got our you know, a lot of us are bad. You know what I'm saying? When I say a lot of us, I'm not including us, you get me? Anyway, but yeah, their household will always have laughter in. And that's an amazing thing to have. And I think, you know, sometimes, you know, when you're too serious, yeah, it doesn't allow freedom, and so there should be laughter. People should be feeling fun. She'll feel happy. She'll fun. They should laugh. They should feel an experience of joy, and that's what you get with these two. That they're always gonna have joy. And it's interesting that, you know, Ashlee picked up the behaviors of Alexx's dad and how he's quite similar to Alexx.
Sister, I need to know more about Alexx.
Here you go.
Thank you, sir.
I see where you get it from. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
The dad's also got a sweet mouth. He's got a nice sweet mouth. He just compliments. Do you get me?
Beautiful smile, too.
Thank you.
Breathtaking.
Thank you.
So you know what you're getting with Alexx, that what you see with her dad is what you're going to get with him, because the exact same way. So you know. What was interesting was that also the sister world was very accommodating, very open, and even gave a recommendation that she likes Ashlee.
I love her personality. She just kind of just went on in there, just dove on in the pool. Didn't know what she was getting into. Just dove on in there.
You know, and that's a good sign. That means that you're going to fit and assimilate into this family. And I think it's one of the hardest things to do. Going into someone else's family to assimilate is so difficult. Going into a family where you can mix and merge into the family is so difficult, because people are bringing in their own personalities, their own style, their own energy. Some people are bringing fakeness, some people are bringing realness and genuineness. But in all, you know, fitting into a family is difficult. But when you can find one where you just slide in, you know, then you're happy, you know, because you haven't had to do much work. You're just being you. There's, you know, the anxiousness and the nerves begin to fly away quickly, because it's like you've never not been part of the family. And I feel that's how Ashlee is in terms of Alexx's family. I think Alexx will have a bit more work to do when he gets to Ashlee's family, because the mum definitely likes Alexx, because she even said that, you know, I know I can see you're genuine.
What I see is you're a genuine person.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I mean,
That's
realness,
respect.
for real. And I'm impressed.
And you can. I think when I watch it, I look at Alexx and look at the words and the way he says things, and I go, he is genuine. So the fact that mum picked it up is such a positive, because the mum obviously has a great say in Ashlee's life, in the sense of the fact that even when Alexx left the house.
What do you think? Y'all did good.
He brought his good representative with him.
He didn't even know that's really who he is.
all
It
the
is.
time.
Every
Since day
question
one.
was perfect.
Seemed
though.
like a president.
No, because he could have lied about the cheating part, but he chose
That's
not
perfect.
to.
They ain't been wild.
The mum came and hugged Ashlee and said, you know, how you feeling, da 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 da. And you can tell by the way the mum was beaming, you know, she gave him a recommendation in the kitchen too, and the fact that the boyfriend also gave a recommendation too. It was only the two boys who were saying like he's a player, da da da. But you can tell that obviously the mum putting her arm around her, she knew she had a good one. She knew her daughter was set, because this guy's a genuine guy. Now, even if it doesn't work out, we know that he's a genuine guy. So it didn't work for genuine reasons, whereas somebody just cheated. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. But in their case, they've seen a genuine guy. It was interesting also to hear as well Ashlee at the table revealing a more deeper side of her, and I think that's what I was. You know that we were saying about not the having the deep conversations that they don't usually have. You can see that from. The last episode where Ashlee mentioned that. I know we haven't really spoken on that level, but in this episode she speaks about the fact that she was guarded, and the fact that she was guarded is because she's not going to release that information just to anybody, and I really rate that. And then when at that table when they were eating, you know, and she released the information about the fact that her father had passed, and you know what she had been through, and the fact she had to be strong for her mother and stuff like that. And it's so interesting because when obviously she was speaking, you could tell she's holding the fort there, and everyone was listening to her and just kind of just seeing a second side of her, which is we see the jovial, the happy, the joyful, but now we're seeing this other side of you, and we can take that on too, because we know that yes, you're happy and funny, but we've seen a deeper side. And like I said, unless you go deep, you can't really know what someone's really about. And so that deeper side endeared her to the family.
And you can tell. You think I did good?
No, without a doubt, son.
See what I'm saying? I told you.
Again, family is important because they have a great say on what the person thinks and feels. And so that endearment was real, man. And look, if you're ever in a relationship, you know, be real, be you. Be real, be you. Don't lie. Just be real and be you. Now, if they don't accept you, that's it. They don't accept you, but at least you know you can't come there. You know what I'm saying? Be real and be you. If you're a stripper, you're a stripper. Or if you were a stripper, you were a stripper. Be real, be you. Don't be ashamed about it, because at the end of the day, if you have to be ashamed about it and the person makes you feel ashamed, they're not for you. Do you get me? Yeah. It was something else happened as well, which was so beautiful. And again, I remember I told you about when Ashlee was saying and complimenting Shantae when they were doing the bakery, whatever. He said to her, and you are this, you are that, you are that. And at the dinner table, when she said, obviously, if you get me or Tiffany, you know, you're going to get a great thing. He said, listen, Ashlee, you've got a great spirit. I love the light, you know, you're the light in my heart, blah, blah, blah. And he did again.
Because I made mistakes in my past as a woman.
As we all have.
So I just...
We call it love covers a multitude of what? Sin. When Ashlee was explaining, saying, look, you know, I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, rah, rah, rah. Alexx immediately says, you know, you're not the only one. Me too, I've made a lot of mistakes. The reason why he said that, again, is to cover her. Because she exposed herself to be vulnerable, to say, listen, I've made mistakes. And, you know, at that point, he didn't want her to feel bad. He's like, look, no, look. I've also made mistakes too. I got you.
Because I made mistakes in my past as a woman.
As we all have.
So
So when he did that, he was actually showing that, listen, my love is to cover you. And this is what a man should be doing. He should cover his wife. And vice versa, in the sense of like, when you make a mistake, I cover you. When I make a mistake, you cover me. But it was just interesting that he made that, again, that declaration where he's like, no, you're not the only one. Like, we've all made mistakes. And it's again to make her not feel bad. It's like he's always covering her. And he's been doing that from jump. It's mad. Get you a man that's going to cover you, baby. As I said, Ashlee also said as well, you know, she takes the word of her family over everything, basically, you know.
If they don't approve, I don't know what I'll do, because I take my family's word for everything.
And so her family are, whatever they say, pretty much goes, in a sense, you know what I mean? And again, like I said, this is good when the family's good. If the family ain't good, this ain't good. Because somebody who's influenced by family yeah, in terms of decision making, in totality, like holistically, right? If the family ain't good, and the decision that comes out of that person won't also be good. But like Ashlee had a great family, so people who cared about her and wanted to see her happy, then whatever she heard from them, it's gonna be fine, because they're gonna see what she's seeing. Do you get what I'm saying? And so when they were bouncing off the ideas on the boyfriend.
What do you think? Y'all did good.
He brought his good representative with him.
No, that's really who he is all the time.
Every question was perfect.
Seemed like a president.
No, because he could have lied about the cheating part, but he chose
That's
not
perfect.
And even the auntie, the mum. The auntie though for me was a bit much. Like when there was one thing as well I noticed. You know when he came to the yard, yeah. First of all, yo, fam, how you gonna give man a plate of food but not give him the tray though, man?
Thing about Ashlee.
Yo, bad man, man. If he drops the food, he's gonna look bad, cuz. Why was there no tray for the food? But on the realest thing, the auntie, yeah, was giving mad vibes, which I did not like. And the reason I didn't like it is because, one, she spoke about Jesus, but then was giving off the most craziest vibe.
This is my Aunt Lisa.
How are you?
Look at you. Look at you.
Yeah.
I like that shirt. That's nice.
Thank you.
Now, I don't mind you interrogating and talking and asking questions. I expect it. In fact, watch my video on meeting the parents. But deep it, yeah, you cannot... The tone that she was using was so condemning almost. A bit like when they asked him the question about did you like when you said about he didn't finish graduation, right?
Played 2 years, got in a little trouble, you know, I didn't graduate.
You didn't graduate. You didn't graduate. You didn't graduate.
No.
But you still turn out to be successful anyway.
And he said, I didn't graduate. But then she was like, but you know, you became successful. And it's like, even though that was a compliment, it wasn't a compliment. The tone that she used was like, it was almost as if like, well, you better have accomplished. You better have accomplished. You better have, you know, done something. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like that condemnation. And I think there was another time where he said about the cheating. And he said about
Fire, you was petty.
Yes.
Right,
pretty much.
Right. Two wrongs don't make anything right.
Well, I mean,
that was the time to sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting.
Right.
you know, I was getting back at my girl. That's why I did what I did. And then the auntie jumped in like, you know, well, that's why you should have had a conversation with Jesus. Like, don't make us Christians look bad. You know what I'm saying? Don't come like that, bruv, because we don't do them things there, cuz. Because if someone told me that, if a boyfriend said that if a man was coming and I was a father, right, and he said that, I would listen, bro, I respect your honesty. Do you know what I'm saying? So long as you're not, and I would say that so long as you're in that place now, I don't mind. Like, we all make mistakes. We're men, we do make mistakes, and sometimes we do foolish things, but have you learned from that position? Yeah. Okay, cool. Do you know what I'm saying? Because to throw the Jesus in there, like, oh, that's why you had a conversation with Jesus, it's like, bruv. And because she mentioned that, he had to then mention later on, you know...
Two wrongs don't make anything right.
Well, I mean,
that was the time to sit down and have a come to Jesus meeting.
Right, I mean, absolutely, but, you know, I was a lot younger.
Come to Jesus meeting.
Right, I mean, absolutely, but, you know, I was a lot younger. And I believe that through prayer and a great support system within my family, you know what I'm saying, led me to the person I am today.
About the fact that he had a family that prays and support. One thing I would say is this, if... You know, like, it depends on, again, religions come up again. He mentioned praying, didn't really mention Jesus. So, I don't know if people call themselves Christians, but they normally just wear the label. They go to church, some people can even go to church all the time, but really ain't got a relationship with God. But anyway, so my point is that obviously, you know, religion plays a big part in people's life. And so when he said about praying and the support, I felt like he had to say that because she mentioned Jesus. And he knew where that was coming from. Like, do you know what I mean? It was almost like a pleasing kind of thing. I'm not saying he doesn't pray because he's mentioned about God before, so don't get twisted. Just saying that, obviously, it felt like he had to add that in there just to kind of quell the auntie in it. But yeah, I mean, the questioning, again, questioning is so important. If you've got a family that cares for you and you bring that person to your family, they should question them. You need to know the intentions, especially if it's a male, you need to know the intentions. Because at the end of the day, you need to find out who this person is. You're not just going to allow anybody into your home. Do you get me? So... a good family would question someone, so don't ever try to run from that. You know what I'm saying? A good family would question a person in terms of intention, what you're aiming to do, what's the future plans, etc., etc.
If y'all make it over that 2-year mark, what do you see y'all relationship?
Me getting on one knee.
Oh!
Do you get me? But at the end of the day, yeah, a good family will question. So don't be afraid of that. let your family question. As long as you trust your family are a good family who genuinely care for you, they will question in the right way. If they're then one types where they're just nosy and they always want to be up in your business and not really caring about you, but it's more of a case of just them having their say, then you might want to be careful on what input they have on that conversation. You might be want to be very, very careful in terms of how you actually set up that conversation. I want to ask, are you a man of integrity? Love the way you positioned the question. And you said, yeah, I am. And you said, oh, have you ever cheated? And it's so interesting, that question, because if they ask me, I'm going to have to say yes. But yeah, I cheated. My bad. But it's a question, obviously, that question was so sideways. But then at first I was like, these little boys, what do you know?
Would you say you're a man of integrity?
Most definitely.
Have you ever cheated?
Have you cheated? Yes, I have.
And I was like, secondly, I was like, hold on a minute. Listen, let me tell you something about life here. Look, we make mistakes, you know. And this is the sharpest thing. When you're younger, you make mistakes. Do you know what I'm saying? You do stupid stuff. I'm not saying that it's correct, but I'm saying you do stupid stuff. When you get older, we expect that you should be a mature man. But the question was so sideways. I was like, whoa! I was like, I didn't even expect that question. But it was a good question. It's, again, like I said, if your family genuinely care about you, even the way they position the question, it might have been a left question, but it was a good question to ask. Do you know what I'm saying? And the way he asked it got him thinking. He said, so your ass was petty? He said, yeah, it was petty. And it's like they all had a laugh about it. Why? Because the family itself cares and loves for Ashlee.
I'm being cheated on.
So you fought fire with fire and you was petty?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
And so therefore, even that question could have been something very, very awkward. Wasn't actually so awkward. It was awkward for me to watch, but actually in that setting, it wasn't awkward because what happened after they started laughing. Why? Because actually at the end of the day, you know, the family care for Ashlee. And so it wasn't a beef. Do you get it? The fact that obviously the boys also said as well.
Right then and there.
Do you think he's a player?
That's exactly what I think he is.
You know, that they feel like maybe, you know, Alexx may be a little bit of a player. I didn't really get that from Alexx. I mean, I know that in the process they had to mingle with different women, but I didn't really get that. I got the impression that Alexx was really just trying to be about finding that right woman, you know, and settling down for her. I believe he had to make a choice between Tiffany, his old, what he went for, what his old liking was, what he used to like, and had to go with something new. And it paid off because he genuinely is happy. And it's like, when you find somebody who makes you happy, it's important to keep them. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, I look at the situation and go, rah, like these two are happy because they've made the right choice. And so when you're not happy, you have to question, why am I not happy? Is it because of a situation or is it because you are not the right person? You know, and in the gut of your feeling, you know from the beginning whether this person is right or wrong. And you've got to listen to that gut instinct. I said, listen, you don't want to wait till you crash. I mean, I already said it in the last video. Aaron said, listen, my gut feeling told me, da da da. But then you're still there. So what do you expect? You've hurt someone now. When they obviously met at the very end, I think I spoke about this in the Mike and Ashlee video. It was so interesting to see that they kept on breaking hands. And I believe the reason why they had to keep breaking hands is because some of the stuff they were talking about was deep.
A lot has happened in my past, and I don't trust a lot of people, Alexx. People in my life have failed me. Forgive me for being reserved. The man that I want.
So this wasn't as romantic as Mike and share, like the fire intensity, I love you love me kind of thing. This was more of a case of saying, look, we've made choices here. And Ashlee said something quite deep, which I want to touch on. She said, you know, she said almost something about being like, finding a man like her dad. And one thing I want to say is that I was cautious about that. I understood what she meant, but I was cautious about it. And the reason why I was, because no man can match your dad. If he was a good dad, no man can match your dad. Do you understand? And that standard, if you use that standard sometimes as a...
The man that I want is my father. I want someone to be like my dad. I need to be protected. I need a provider. I need someone who's loving and caring. And so I need to just know that this is real.
It can be used as a beating stick, and a good guy who actually genuinely cares for you, loves you, may not meet that standard because he isn't your dad. And so what you don't want is a replacement of your dad. You want a man who has the same characteristics. So that's why I was a bit like, ooh, I wish she had just mentioned the characteristics that she wants from a man, rather than saying I want a man like my dad, because inevitably I am not your dad, and I'm not I come from a different lineage, a different blood, a different genealogy, a different DNA. I cannot be your dad, but I can be like your dad in the characteristics. So that may be something we want to watch on, that she may try to, even though she's, you know, she's learned a lot and she's very smart, very experienced, very educated, took her time, that may be something that may become into a marriage situation that may be a problem. Yeah, so back to the point I was making. You know, they kept on splitting hands, and the reason why is because they had to talk about deep stuff. You know, Ashlee was saying, you know, I know I've been with other guys, I know I've other guys before you, but no one's made me feel the way you made me feel. And it's like, you know, this was a tough decision, like, not a tough decision, but process was tough. And so at that point, it's not a holding hands thing, because we're trying to explain what we're feeling in our hearts. Same with Alexx, he explained as well, deep what he's feeling. You know, the fact that, and I know that the reason why they had to break hands, because as well for Alexx as well, he had to make a conscious choice to break away from the Tiffany thing. Tiffany was what he experienced beforehand, but that's not what he wants now. Do you get what I'm saying? That toxicity. And so I feel like that interaction there was a tough one, because they both had to explain what was on their hearts. Do you know what I'm saying? And then they both had to say, listen, confirming, I want you, you want me. I appreciate that. And I love the fact that Alexx said, listen,
I want to take this to the next level. I want us to be exclusive. This is my final decision. This is where I'm at.
Oh, minute, one for you. I love the fact that Alexx also said, I want to be exclusive. Again, he stated what he wants. Now, Ashlee can meet that. That's even one step further. You know exactly what he wants. Yeah. And, you know, and the fact that she said, the fact that she also said as well, it's time to be a big girl. You just know that obviously she had to make a conscious choice to love this guy, or to let him in. And for me, that's what love is. Love is a conscious choice. It's an action that you produce. And so, yeah, guys, Alexx and Ashlee, I hope them and wish them the best. I appreciate them. Let them stay blessed. Listen, Little Black Book, you already know what time it is. Appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe. You already know what time it is. Appreciate you. Stay blessed.